Okay, awesome. Welcome everybody to the Captain's Lounge, the governance meeting of the Ocean Protocol Ambassador Program. Today we have full house. A lot of our friends from the Ocean Protocol Foundation have joined us. Maybe we do a short round of introductions so that everybody knows who's in the call. My name is Robin. I'm the captain of the Captain's Lounge. So I'm basically bartending here and serving the drinks and doing a little bit of the moderation. I've been in the Ocean Protocol Ambassador Program for a long time. I'm also the founder of Data Union. Yeah, maybe you want to go next, Laurent? You're muted.
Sure. Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Laurent. I also joined the program a long time ago and enjoyed it so far. And I handled the outreach ship.
Hi, everyone. I'm Adan, and I'm also an ambassador since some months already. And I am the hand of Laurent for the outreach ambassador program.
Yeah, maybe I just go next. I'm Albert. I'm currently leading the tech ship together with Frederick, who could not join today. And, I'm happy to be here.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's Alex. I work on OceanDAO at Ocean Protocol.
Hi, everyone. I'm Razvan. I'm a COO of OPF, already having around 2.5 years working for OPF, and I'm glad that I'm now joining your call. Last time it was last year, so a lot of things happened meanwhile.
Hi, everybody. I've been here for 5 months. My name is Roberto, and I'm helping out with the design and engineering of the DAO. So, yeah, great to join you.
Awesome. Yeah, great that you all made it. So today our list of points is not too long. So I mean, we have our budgeting as one of the topics on the agenda, and the next then there's one more point. It's about talking about prices and our pledge. So like discussing how we should handle this in the future. So how our strategy is in this direction. So I think in this case it's good that the OPF is also present. I mean, there has been some discussions about this because of one certain case, and yeah, this would be then the topic that we want to discuss. But as are there any other topics that we should add to the agenda today that you guys want to talk about?
We may, so if we have time, we may want to already get some thoughts and feedback from the OceanDAO team and from Razvan as well, from OPF on the future of the program. I know we'll have a dedicated session, but as we have everyone here, perhaps it's a good opportunity to speed up and get the chance to get their feedback.
Okay, yeah, then let's put this point as the last point on the agenda, that we have the other things covered, and then we start with that if we have enough time. Any other topics that we should add to the agenda by anyone? No? Okay, then I would.
Yeah, I would like to add a topic. So I think it would be fruitful for us to discuss about the future of this program.
Yeah, so that's basically the same point that Laurent was also suggesting. Then I would add this like as the last point. I mean, the budgeting is always an important part of this meeting, and I will share my screen to do that because like we are basically deciding here that we open these funds, that we just decide what is getting paid out, and after that we can basically do the actual payout so that the ambassadors get their rewards for the monthly contributions. So yeah, let me jump into here. Okay, so
agree. Yeah, it's a quick one. I think regarding order, I think this is right to tackle this first. So this is covered. Then perhaps the pledge discussion. Let's keep it for last, so that we benefit from the guidance first before making choices.
Okay. Yeah, we can also do that. That's also fine for me. I don't mind
Awesome.
changing the order. Yes. Okay. So yeah, let's just quickly jump into this. So we don't have the quarterly here. This check-in, okay, we have Noe. So you suggested $100 for the last month for checking. Does anybody have any objections about that?
So this suggestion was the historical suggestion, right? So
yeah,
it was just about like doing some follow-up and contacting some people. So Noé was busy earlier in June and July. Now he had a little bit of time in July, and so it justifies 100. Going forward, perhaps it should be a little more, depending on the process. If we can automate this, it could be still 100 or perhaps even less. But as long as there is all these manual steps, that should probably be increased next.
So yeah, we have this specific task here, like this onboarding process, which has like dedicated $500. I think maybe this is a little bit less, but I think we will get to that. So this is just for the recurring work that has to be done. I don't think that the automated process will be in place for August. So I would suggest that we add another 100 because the manual process has to continue for it.
Yeah. So that was my point. So the 100 represents like very quick checking and stuff.
Yeah.
It is really like the detailed follow-up on this. So perhaps we should add a little to this because 100 is not so much.
Okay. Does anybody object? Maybe 50% more?
Yeah, let's see how the process looks like and adjust. So at least we know there is a change here.
Sure. Okay. So like then here the admin. So like I'm in the future. I mean in July I was still working on that, but in the future I will step down from doing this. So yeah, on Telegram, there's now also a great team in place by the OPF, so they are really handling this very well. Basically, I can really, I don't think I'm required there too much anymore. There will probably be some questions, but it has really died down a lot. So there's very rarely they ask me something. So I think we can now also, I can now step down from helping them to mod the Telegram. So it's kind of working autonomously. And in Discord, I also have the same feeling. I mean, the one person that is actually still working here is Denko. So Denko is helping out. So maybe we will add another row here to say, okay, then he would be the lead for that. That we can still value his contribution. So like then I would be adding Denko here. So we are always kind of sharing this in a way. So I would then propose that we give him like $100 for his contributions. I mean, he's very active there, especially banning the bots, and that's something which we could also automatize in the future. But yeah, from my point of view, I would just take these ones for the July, and in the future I will be stepping down from doing this. Unfortunately, my time is not there anymore to really make an impact there. It was a long time. I mean, I moderated for, I think, 3 years a Telegram or something, and Discord also since there's the Discord server. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, now my time is kind of running out. Unfortunately, here it's like this. So is this okay for everyone that we pay out these rewards? Yeah. Any objections to this?
No objections from my side.
So the reward for Denko comes in August. So you said he was active already, or
I'm sharing. As I'm leading this, I'm always sharing the amount that I get. You know, like the owner of the activity always has to then share the amounts with the other people. So basically, that's what I've been doing here. What I've been doing here with this already. So even in this month, I've always been sending him a share of what we are doing. Basically, this would be then having him as the owner of the activity and not me anymore. Basically, this would be then like that he gets then these rewards. So, but we can also, I mean, we can also give him the 200, like if this is what you're coming at. So yeah.
No, it was for this month, but you're clarifying. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he has always been he has not been answering so many questions. He has more been the caretaker of banning the bots. So like, there's a lot of spam bots that enter the server. So we were not able to establish an automatized solution for that yet. But maybe that would be also something that he could be working on if he would then get also the server admin rights. So far, he doesn't have them. I have them. but then I would also be stepping down from having those. Yeah, just, I mean, right now I can change everything, and I think Gary as well. So maybe at this point, then the two of us here should also be losing these rights. I will be talking to Manan. Manan is the owner of this server. So yeah, I think we can then change this. So yeah, okay. The next thing would be the Sailors Lounge. So we will be not paying out anything here. Somehow Jim unfortunately disappeared. So that's really unfortunate, because like he was also holding the treasury of the two of us. So basically, I got now rug pulled out of a lot of these tokens. So yeah, I have to see whether he will turn up again or not. Otherwise, it's a little bit unfortunate. But I mean, that's like the risk you take in the blockchain world. But yeah, so far it looks unfortunately like this, that there are no more Sailors Lounges, because Jim is just not here anymore. And yeah, he was doing a lot of the organizational work and also the recording stuff. So yeah, I don't want to run this show alone anymore. So it was great, and if he would come back, I would also take the time again to do this. But at the moment, it's unfortunately not continuing. So that's yeah, that's the way.
Robin, have you was it concluded? Was it communicated that he stopped, or did he just kind of go?
He just said he went on vacation, but this is like 2 months ago or something like this. He said, I'm going on vacay. I mean, like just, and then I'm writing to him. I now even in the stage where I'm watching his Ethereum wallet, you know, what's going on there. And if I see some activity, I tell him, oh, you did something today. Are you back or something? But it's a little bit desperation moves of myself to try to get half of the funds that were paid out in the past. But well, I mean, anyways, the Sailors Lounge is there, so that's already good, and the people like people like it, so it's also a benefit. I mean, I don't have to get. Maybe he would turn up. I mean, I don't want to make any big claims here. It's just like at the moment he's not available. So yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, this was my let's be generous until we learn more, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to make any big claims here. So like I'm trying to contact him again, but unfortunately we cannot pay anything out here. So because we don't have him anymore. Unfortunately, I would really have
so before we put this to 0, it was 250 before, because I believe there has been 2 episodes in July.
No, I was expecting that we didn't do 1, you know, but then he was not available at all. So in July, I think there was none anymore. So like that's
already
didn't have
from
one
July,
for a long time now. So unfortunately, like there was none. I was expecting to have 1, but it was 0 as far as I remember. So yeah, I will not claim anything here. So we have this June one that was paid out already, but here no, I don't think so. Okay, the next point would be the web page creation. So I think Adan, you're still on track to doing that.
Yeah, in fact, I started already, but with those stuff happening this time, I didn't have the time to finish it. Sure. I'm moving next week in holiday, and hopefully I will come back. But for me, it would be more to finish it by the end of September, or because I'm going for 3 weeks on holidays. So I think I will finish it for end of September or beginning of October.
Okay, then let's see. I mean, like the point here is about what we pay out and when we have to expect certain payments.
We'll just put it in September.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think we still have enough budget in the treasury at the moment to be able to finance this. So yeah.
Can I take a step back? I was checking on the YouTube channel, and actually there was a Sailors Lounge 11 published early July.
But this was with between. I was not in this one, in the last one. I think I was sick. So, as far as I remember.
Okay, but so like if the work was done or some of it was done.
Okay, yeah, this one.
It looks, yeah, exactly. So it looks fair to provide an allocation.
Okay, then I mean, okay, then we will do this.
On a side note, I'm interested. You know, I find this very surprising that Jim suddenly goes on vacay. and doesn't answer anything. Perhaps someone else should try to get in touch. Maybe it's personal
maybe
stuff. I don't know.
That can be the case. I don't know what could happen in this direction, but you can also contact him. I mean, if you want, I can give you his account on Discord, or you contact him on Telegram. Maybe it's a personal thing. Yes, I don't know. But I think like Noelle, she also wanted to contact him because they wanted to do something together, and it didn't work out anymore. So like she also was not able to get to him. But please feel free to also contact him. I don't think that this is, there's no problem with that. So of course, it might also be that it's just me that can happen. Yes. Okay, then the next things would be here regarding the translation. So we had translation here from Denko. Do you think there will be another one in the next month, Laurent? What do you think?
I don't know. We did not agree on one. To be fair, he did publish one now earlier this month, so it makes sense to have this allocation of 50.
Sure.
We'll have to reconnect. To be fair, we haven't had these ongoing outreach discussions for quite a while. Because we had like some other priorities. Then unfortunately Adan had the COVID, so we had to postpone a little. And we have that session finally next week. So by then we're going to be able to give you the update on what we plan going forward. Right now I don't have exactly the all the details of this. I know there will need to be some budget for the Greek program. There might be some other things, but I must admit I have very little visibility right now on the other standalone programs.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, like if new things come up, then they can be entered here. So I also like the idea about the Greek program, and the guys there want to do really a lot of work. So yeah, we would probably have to assign a larger budget. But yeah, I mean, here it's the decision making here is about paying out stuff, right? I think that's one of the main focus things. So like, yeah, we can now pay this out, like what has been done, and then in the next one we could kind of decide more in this direction. But I think that's okay from my point of view. You know, to give you, I mean, this is a exceptional situation, right? So. In this situation, I think we don't have to obey to the rules. I mean, we can just do what makes sense, you know. Okay, Noé and the French community. So he did some exceptional outreaching there.
Yes, he organized several meetups. I think he did at least 3, and he translated some material. He was quite active in French channels presenting Ocean Protocol. So yeah, so the budget of 300 was my input in blue, or was this?
Yeah, this was from you. Yes, that's why.
Okay, so yeah, so that's the one. I think this is.
Will it continue in the future, or was this a one-time thing?
Unclear. I think this is going to continue. So the way we organize this, because we don't necessarily want to pre-align all of these activities. So the idea is that every new translation, every new article published, every new event, etc., as a placeholder, we give about $50 for it. And then if someone needs more because of logistics or anything else, because it's a bigger event, then we can discuss, and we do need to lock the budget beforehand. So that's the way we try to steer participation and initiative within the outreach ship. So that's why I look like I don't really know, but this is kind of by design.
Yeah, I mean, like the only thing that maybe this will clash with is like in port, you know, like with the deliverables, you know, like if you have to make a proposal, what you deliver and what you will not deliver. So that's, you know, like if it's more spontaneous. But yeah, maybe we can just say, okay, there will be local community engagement, and then, you know, like it can then happen or not. Like, I mean, that's like, I did like the reporting for what we did, and sometimes, you know, like we have things here, but for example, here now, let's take, for example, the website. So if we say we want to do the website, but we do it then later, you know. So like that's a problem with these applications or the grant applications, you know. So that's something that has to be kind of thought of how to manage this properly. But I think we can put this later in the talks with OceanDAO team. So that's just
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, so then I would say he will continue with that. So we'll also dedicate like this budget for the next month as well. And then the Twitter, I think that everybody saw that this is happening, and this will also continue. And the visibility, you think this will continue in the next month as well, Laurent?
It's difficult to say. We
Okay.
have yet to come to a conclusion. So, basically, like Noel and like contacted some people. We had some contacts with one guy, but it's not yet materializing into anything concrete. So yeah, these influencers are a bit of a difficult thing. So especially if it's for free, right? So influencers can do wonders if you pay them, but if it's out of their own interest, you're kind of left there, you know, like waiting for them and chasing them. So there was a relevant contact made. I think that Noel was telling me perhaps this is not the right strategy because it takes a lot of effort and it shows very little tangible results, which I agree with, especially now given the new rules in the OceanDAO. I think this is the kind of stuff that we would rather not do, because you spend a lot of time and you don't have a guarantee of measurable results. And so we know this is not what we want in the OceanDAO. Yeah,
I mean, maybe we can negotiate for something that we can make this kind of things happen. But
let's
it's true.
see.
I
for
mean,
now,
from the core idea to have measurable results, this is something that is difficult. Yes, you're right.
Okay, so I would assume 0 going forward. I think Noel did some work. If she's if some more work is required, then maybe we have to allocate a little more. But yeah, let's see when things get more concrete. At this stage, I would also conclude, let's not spend more time on this. We have lower hanging fruits to grab first.
Okay. Then Albert, how is this business plan going for the Ocean Pearl?
Yeah, Matthias was working on this, but he is still on his holidays. I don't know when he returns exactly. And also Ocean Pearl is right now completely independent. They have their own plans, so I think it's actually not needed anymore, and we can drop it.
So just delete it. All right. Okay. The next topic would be the Tech Ship podcast. So Albert, we did not talk about this. I mean, we did not have the time to do it. I think we can still think whether we want to do it or not. I would just put it in the future, right?
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay. Then here, this onboarding. So Noé and I, we were starting with this. Like we were talking about what could be working here. So we found that Collabland bots would be working very well. I mean, this would then be a bot that can tackle many things. So like it could also help with the spamming of the Ocean server. So like this would basically then be a bot which you can sign into. So basically you sign into with your MetaMask, and basically then it can also check whether the certificate is there, the NFT. And the only thing is now with the pledges, but basically this can then authenticate a certain user, you know, that came from the Ocean Academy. And then this can then it can then automatically give access to certain channels because of that. So this is a solution that we were looking at. And another thing is that we are now also looking at creating a mail server for the ambassadors on top of the server that we have already for the website. And basically this is ongoing. But yeah, I think we will have to split this up. So like we did some work this month, but it's not finished. So the question is like, should we then on delivery pay the 250, pay the 500, or should we split this up in several different payments? I think Laurent, you updated the card and you said there should be it's more of an ongoing activity or something like this, or how do you see that?
Yeah, so not sure exactly about the allocation. For sure, this is like two pieces of work. One is keeping up with what's there, which is very manual and very annoying. And in parallel to this, there is the setup of a new system. So those two things would need to get funding separately. Whether it's captured here, I guess it is. So as long as this is here, it's fine. But it's probably like a short-term thing, the fix. And once this is done, maybe we don't have to pay monthly for much of the manual work.
Yeah. Okay. Then but I would say we did something already this month, but yeah, it's not finished yet. So let's just move this to next month and say, okay, after it's finished, then we do it. Okay, Captain's Lounge, tech ship. So I think these things here we will pay these out. Yeah, as we are doing the work there. We did not create a proposal for July, as far as I remember. So I would put 0 here. I'm not sure about next month, so yeah, maybe we will do one, maybe not. We can just put the placeholder here. Then this testimonials, I think these didn't happen, so I would move this also over here. And the next point is like Albert and the computer data dashboard project.
Yes, so this is not public. Oh no, it's already public. We just need to announce it actually properly in the TechShip channel. But yeah, it was completed. I think you also saw it the last time. And yeah, I would like to pay out the students there.
Sure. But then it will, in August, we will not have an allocation for this anymore.
Nope, then it's over.
Okay, great. Okay, good. Yeah, so then this would conclude from my point of view the budgeting. Is there anything else that we should add here?
No, one side point for you, Albert. So perhaps we can also write an article like we did for Pearl with Noel and the outreach crew to announce the C2D dashboard, because it's quite a cool thing. So I think we should liaise on this. That's all.
Okay, then we can create the card for that in the outreach ship, and then also do the communication. Okay, good. Yeah, then this concludes the budgeting part, and we can move forward with the future of the ambassador program with the next topic. So yeah, I mean, we've been thinking amongst ourselves how to continue. So we had one longer meeting about this, and what we see, or like Laurent, you made an excellent point in today's Ocean Town Hall, from my point of view, that for newcomers who are entering the ecosystem and they are eager to engage more than just being a community member, they want to do just some more for the project. I think that's an excellent point to join the ambassadors for this. And I mean, a lot of people here have been doing exactly this. So I think we all were in the situation at some point, you know, that we were doing something and then we thought, okay, let's take it to the next level. I mean, going forward, a lot of the people here have also then taken the next step to then also build something on top of Ocean Protocol. So that's like whether it's Academy or Delta DAO or Data Union. So many things have been happening in this direction. But yeah, having this as a breeding ground for starters and to bring in the people, I think it's a good idea, because like, you know, like many people will not be able to directly start an OceanDAO proposal. You know, there should be something intermediate from my point of view.
So I think, Robin, we talked about this quite a bit within ourselves, within the ambassadors. I think what we should try to do now is save these points for another time, and rather than download the feedback from Alex, Roberto, and Razvan, right? So we have that. I think this is probably the greatest opportunity that we have to have the three of them, in fact, in one single meeting. So I'd rather take the benefit of this. And
maybe we should, but maybe I should maybe then touch a little bit on where we see. Should we first talk about where we see some, well, where especially I see some issues?
I think
or just ask about the opinion first.
Ask about the opinions, then let's discuss whether there are issues or not. So if we clarify first the intentions of the OPF, of the OceanDAO in regards to the ambassador program, we're going to have a lot clarified already, and then we know what to do much better, rather than trying out of the dark to figure it out based on what we expect or believe. OceanDAO wants and OPF wants from the ambassador program.
Okay, yeah, then maybe we just we make a first round with our friends from the OPF to ask you, okay, you've been enjoying us next to you guys working in the ecosystem for quite some time now, but yeah, we would now try to get some feedback from you guys. What do you think? How should the ambassador program continue in the future?
Super, yeah, and there's some context here as well that, you know, hey, is ambassador program, is this going to be a totally new reinvention of itself? Is there anything from the historical perspective of ambassadors, you know, structurally, you know, I think all the, like the coordination things and all these, like, this is great. So, you know, the structure, it seems to be working well. It's just, hey, what are the actual activities going on? Are there things, you know, from the historical perspective, because, you know, from Razvan's point of view, he's been here for 2 years. Are there things that, you know, that are non-obvious to, you know, Roberto and I, as, you know, people who have been with Ocean Protocol shorter, things like historically that, you know, Razvan's appreciated about the program. And then, you know, from my perspective, you know, new initiatives coming up and new needs that I think, you know, ambassadors can play a role in. So I'll just speak my part, and then, you know, curious to hear other folks' perspectives. But yeah, so as you're well aware, you know, we have OceanDAO, which is kind of a product line. We have, in so many words, OceanDAO is, hey, it's one of Ocean Protocol's products. We have the Ocean Marketplace, which is one of Ocean's Protocol's products, and we have you know, data farming coming, which is, you know, going to be one of Ocean Protocol's projects. So across these things, especially in the narrative of a decentralized Web3 first principles, where does coordination happen? In traditional organizations, it's top down, and in flat Web3 native communities, it's bottom up. And so this is where, you know, a lot of the support is needed at the community level, because that's where, you know, the coordination and activity is happening. So with regard to the ambassador program, in the context of this, I think ambassadors really do help on the community level. So, hey, someone's coming in trying to get help with onboarding to OceanDAO, or onboarding to data farming, or, you know, onboarding to the marketplace. Kind of these how-tos, really being, or some of the maybe tutorial side of the house, I think is just so important as Ocean scales these 3 product lines drastically over the next 3 to, you know, 12 months. That's kind of what I think ambassadors can really help with, is really on the community coordination, tutorial, onboarding across these product lines.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, what I see as an important point here is the independence. You know, like that this kind of onboarding is done also in a way by people that are not involved in all of this and give some tainted decisions. So like if I make some recommendations, my name has like data union already in it. So I think that there should be, the ambassadors should deliver some independence, some really from the outside point of view tutorials and this kind of stuff. But yeah, okay. Anyways, thank you so much, Alex. Let's go next. Roberto, I think you're unmuted. You have something to add to this?
Yeah, no, I think it's been you know, very interesting to see the impact that ambassadors has had over you know, its lifetime, and you know, the things that have emerged from it. And I think it's, you know, the one thing I always go back to is just continuing to identify what the goals are, and maybe putting some good metrics around it, so that we can see just how where things are having an impact. And I'm looking forward to us be able to perhaps identify ways to, you know, increase the always, right, empower these teams or DAOs within Ocean to achieve their goals. So yeah, but yeah, I think it's there's a lot of potential, right, behind the ambassadors program and what we can achieve. It's also good to be focused. So I would really like to see perhaps more programs like the ambassador team, or perhaps different initiatives also perhaps taking place. You know, I think Alex, for an example, identified kind of the outcome or the skill set, you know, that from ambassadors to be able to onboard people onto a variety of different topics and perhaps different ramps into the ocean ecosystem, right? So what are those ramps, and perhaps what are some ramps that we could create more opportunities? So I keep thinking about, you know, other things that we're trying to do with, like, doing outreach for, you know, universities or meetups or, you know, incubators or whatever it is, right? And if we're talking about increasing the number of proposals, you know, there's a team that overlaps with that need very well, right? And there's other benefits on the other end of that. So I think it's great to just think about all the opportunities that Ambassador Program has, the skills that it has, and how we can leverage that as best as possible. But I think there's a lot of opportunity, and I'm looking forward to the continuous growth of it. I'm also thinking about some things that we could maybe, other ways to improve it. There's internal discussions going on. I'd like to get the politics out of the way so that we can just, like, you know, perhaps provide some other type of support in these kind of initiatives, not necessarily ambassadors, but just in general, like infrastructure or kind of process level, so that we can improve the alignment of everybody.
Hey, Roberto, this is fantastic, and I totally agree. Is there anything, like, if you had your magic wand, like, because what it is my interpretation, they're literally like getting a list of, like, hey, in this new ambassador program, ambassadors can, like, do X, Y, Z, ABC, like, these are the roles, and you know, putting prioritization of them, like, can they focus on these things, yes or no? Is there anything quite literally, like, tasks that you know, out of the ethos you described, is there any like, yeah, quite frankly, like, any literal tasks that you can think of? Hey, and, you know, obviously, you know, I work really closely, we work really closely together on OceanDAO, so I can think of some, but are there any tasks that you had actually on the top of mind for the sentiment you expressed?
I mean, stupid, smart task, right? Do 10 presentations for you know, incubators across North America about OceanDAO grant program, and request them to submit a proposal, and that you will help them talk about the categories and the ROI, and you know, getting the first grant through the door, especially if you're a data science or data provider, or, you know, there's some weird consumption thing that you're trying to do. You're working with blockchain and you like data, whatever it is, right? But just get some numbers. Yeah, get do 10 presentations, get 5 proposals from, you know, these communities, and target a community in particular. You know, try to come up with different, I don't know, talk to Mark and Scott about different communities, and we have done research as well, so we can talk about that too, you know, and just make some proposals and work together. And you guys have a lot of knowledge, so yeah. Anyways.
And so, and this is awesome, because this go towards one of our, core OceanDAO things about increasing number of proposals. And Roberto, and I know we didn't talk about this offline ahead of time, so maybe this is a spontaneous kind of thought. But do you feel like
sharing,
ambassadors?
Yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah, this is just a total brainstorming. And like, do you feel like ambassadors can help with? And like, we can offline this too, because I don't have the total answer to this right now. But do you feel like ambassadors can help with the ops schedule of Ocean Town Hall, or is that something?
Well, so I've been trying to do more of that as well. So one of the things I have done is with the outreach, I connected with everybody on TG, and then TG, got sunsetted, and then, now there's Trello and Discord. So I've been trying to go in there a little bit more and talk about the dates, because I've been pushing the buttons, right? And, we're trying to move as much as we can to DAObot as a Web 2 layer, so that we can move away from humans in the middle, because there's still a lot of like soft things, and we kind of want to be free of that stuff, so we can focus on bigger problems, right? Like the stuff that Tim's talking about in terms of like measuring KPIs and having ways for teams to integrate and like, better report their treasury or whatever it is. These are all things that we talk about. So we want to like just put things on rails a little bit, and this is like a step towards decentralization, right? We're going to talk about this a little bit more. We got to, we put a roadmap together. I'm just trying to explain it right now, but the point is that we want to just, the DAO thing kind of should just be on rails, right? And kind of just, and then we can like focus on other stuff. Point is that proposals is like a key part of that, right? And in the roadmap we talk about this as well. But the point is that like, it's the more we feed the ocean ecosystem and that succeeds, the more we're all going to succeed. And I think there's a lot of overlap with just ambassadors and teams like Ocean Academy as well, right? So Ocean Academy has onboarded a lot of participants, but just in general, like doing outreach and building relationships. I think ambassadors is community focused as well, right? So it's just how you define your community. I don't know, maybe it's just online and on Discord, maybe it's a bit bigger than that. I don't know. But I think it's, I see you guys active all the time. Robin is just, great with onboarding everybody. I think there's already a super group of people doing that. Anyways.
I would like to tell some words from my side as well, if possible.
Really quickly, just to summarize from Roberto and I's end, ambassadors, community outreach and onboarding. And then with regard to the actual operations of OceanDAO, while there are some manual things here now, over time, these are going to be put on rails and automated and decentralized. So not so much ambassador help
actually,
for now.
Sorry, keep going, Alex. So one of the things I was just thinking about, how you guys could also, and Razvan, maybe you want to go. I don't want to, I've been thinking from a lot of different angles as well, right? So we have a lot of content. So Alex was talking about the round ops. So if we're talking about community and we're talking about ops, the other thing that we're trying to do is to celebrate and like figure out how to increase signal around, the grant process, right? So it's a monthly process in the world of, video games, ops is huge, right? It's, there are companies like Supercell that have had huge community programs where, there's like bars across Europe, where people are meeting to go and play the game kind of deal. So like, I'm not, if we ever get there with data scientists and engineers, that would be something. But the point is that there's a lot of news. There's a lot of stuff going on in the community itself. We have a Twitter account. Maybe there are better ways for us to like get news from the DAO into Twitter, right? And just have better ways to just increase visibility into the funding, into the voting time when, the interviews with Ocean Jim were great, right? I thought we have, there's a Google Calendar that I've put together, right? And it's in every Notion page, and we're eventually going to have a similar calendar inside of Pearl probably one day. But until then, right, like we can celebrate news and like releases and a bunch of other stuff as well. So there's a lot of ways we could leverage to build cool interest around community stuff, I think, right? Quickly,
So Jim wanted to do something called Pelican, which would have been the newspaper kind of style thing for all the ocean ecosystem. Unfortunately, this was not continued, but yeah, this was in terms of all of this celebrating and also bringing the projects into the foreground. But yeah, let's see how we can continue there. But Razvan, you also wanted to have the word. Maybe you can now give your feedback.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much for all the information. I remember, I think it was like almost 2 years ago when together with Lima we started this project, the ambassadors mainly, and it was started before, but it was mainly just a program that was not providing any value, not to the ambassadors, not to the ocean. It was more about, okay, there are a bunch of guys, they're ambassadors, and that's it. There was no vision, no direction, no activities, no meetings, no gatherings, mainly no outcome. And thanks to all of you, we managed to get the program into a working one in which there was like a direction. There was a lot of activity that was rendered for OPF. Ocean mainly was increasing the community, and we are not talking about just members. We are talking about members that were active in the community in one way or the other. We were talking about people that were exposing OPF to other people that were not aware of this program, and I think you did a really good job. Again, what's important is to see which would be the next steps, where we are, what should be done in the future, how we are able to extend the program, how we are able to get more community members, how we are able to involve our community members more and more. And I think the DAO is a very, very good tool for doing that. And if we are like really joining the efforts and trying to increase the awareness, I think that that would be a very good outcome of the ambassadors program and of the DAO program.
Okay, I mean, what I'm hearing here is, in general, like, so one thing that we have is the tech ship. So we always wanted to make technical solutions. So what I'm hearing is like, okay, this is not something that we have to focus too much on anymore. Like, it's my consensus now, like, because we have all the projects now that do the technical stuff. But yeah, I mean, Albert has now and Frederick have now shifted the focus a bit more on an incubator. So I think, but this also was like something that came over, was my impression from the OceanDAO team, that this is also something that would be interesting in the future. Because like, I think that's really something, like if people come in and they want to start something, starting from nothing to a grant proposal, you need already a lot of skills and experience, So I think, yeah, so that would be then more from my understanding, more of the role of the tech ship.
Yeah, it's let's say in order to be able to touch more and more people, and in order to be able to extend the community, you need to make it accessible. Same we are doing with the technology. So we are trying to make our technology more accessible. We are trying to have our documentation becoming better and better. We are trying to simplify the way you can prepare, let's say, a specific use case by using Ocean. We are trying to simplify the entire communication with our partners, with other projects, with the developers, so on the technical part and on the business part, and so on and so forth. And mainly, I think that would be the goal: simplifying in order to get better traction, making it more accessible.
Okay, I mean, that also goes hand in hand with what Roberto and Alex said about helping the on-ramping part. Okay, yeah, I think we captured a lot of the sentiment now. Yeah, so we will have another meeting next week. I mean, we have maybe we as the ambassador team should also have another meeting in between, guys. But I'm not sure if we can make that. But in the end, like digesting what has been coming in as information here, maybe we should do this also amongst us. I will talk about this in the captain's lounge. Do we want to make another round to comment on this, or do we want to digest this first? What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I mean, I've been giving some feedback, but maybe someone else also wants to.
Yeah, I prefer to digest first and think about this. Yeah, this was a lot of new information, and would like to also talk about our own positioning towards that, and then discuss in depth next week.
Okay, then I will try to make another meeting. Laurent, please.
No, only thanks for the clear guidance. I think this is really super helpful for us, so that we can also come back to the OceanDAO for funding later with stuff that makes sense and that is helpful for you guys and the community more broadly. So if this is really on-ramping that we should put more efforts on, yeah, let's do this, and let's see how our current structures or new structures can better support these goals. It's really helpful for us to think about reorganizing and restructuring ourselves. Just a side point, because I missed the the addition to the agenda earlier on. I just wanted to mention, and you've seen him perhaps in our Telegram group, we were in contact with Simon, who was also a very old school ambassador very early on, back in 2018. And he's going to have more time late October, November, to jump back into the ambassador program, and also insufflating some new energy and some great ties with universities, because he's just completed his PhD. He still needs to defend the thesis, but more or less it's done. And so he has an amazing network in academia, and he's super smart and super nice guy to have in the group. So just a side note here.
Okay, great. Yeah, then we will take some time to digest. So Adan, if you want to comment, you don't have to, but if you want, you can. Otherwise, I would be moving. I would try to make a doodle. So maybe in our Friday slot, where we had in the past the opportunity to do so. I don't know, Albert, if you will have the time because of the hackathon. Lots of things are happening in this direction at the moment. But yeah, maybe we can find a digest session before the meeting next week on Wednesday. Let's see about that. I will put in a doodle and we discuss this offline. Then there would be then I would move on to the next agenda point. I mean, we have not too much time. It's about the pledge and about the promotion of the Ocean Prize. So this has been something that we always had in the past as one of our fundamental rules, that we don't actively promote the price of Ocean token, because we were like saying, I mean, that this is something that the Ocean Navy is doing. So that's not something that the ambassadors should be doing, because there's a large group of crypto investors that is actively doing that. So we wanted to separate from that. And the main point about this was always in the past that our program is funded by Ocean Protocol. So we were funded directly from the ecosystem funds. And then if we then go out and promote the price, then it looks like we are paid shoes, like that we get paid by the Ocean Protocol Foundation to promote the price. And this was like, as far as I remember in our discussions over the last years, this was always something that we wanted to avoid at any cost, and to separate these two things. That basically here there's no payment for somebody to go out and just say, okay, the price will be up in a few months, or like tomorrow or something like this. So that's from my point of view the fundamental rule, and why we also introduced this. And also from the other side, like from the regulatory point of view, it's also very, very edgy and on the edge of the regulatory spectrum if the ambassadors go around and start promoting the price. And yeah, so the discussion here came up because one of the ambassadors has now made a video where he's actively promoting the price. I mean, at least this is the opinion of some of the ambassadors. And the question was like, how should we handle this? Can we have? Okay, see you, Roberto. The question is then, how should we handle this? Should we? In the past, we have been, yeah, we never had this kind of infringements before in this direction. Questions like, should we act on this? How should we handle this? I mean, probably for our own reputation, it's better to not do this, you know, like it's just like very on the border of what we should do from my point of view.
Yes, it's true. And in fact, I also want to share a bit of context from my end, the way I see this, because I was a strong advocate of being very tough on price discussions within the ambassador group, because I thought that we need the people to do this without necessarily direct incentive, and to really behave in a distinct way, in an impeccable way. However, since then, first of all, I noticed that Bruce started talking about price fairly like regularly as a genuine token or project success metric, which kind of makes sense, right? So I'm not necessarily sure this should be the #1 metric to look at. However, it is also a metric of success of the overall ecosystem compared to others. So that's a first observation. Second observation, the particular ambassador who is in question now is Data Whale. So Moritz, so he's also involved in some other programs. Of course, he's very keen to drive Alga and the other pieces of technology that he's building. And it makes a lot of sense. And he has an approach that is really targeting the liquidity providers, or call them speculators or curators. They have a lot of different names. Basically, they try to invest in promising data sets, and in so doing, they signal value to some people who have no clue about crypto, but are able to understand whether a data set has potential or not before buying that data set for their own business. So it's basically targeting some people who we haven't really talked to so much in the past, but that are perhaps a more important group of people than I was originally considering, given their importance in the data token marketplaces and signaling of quality of data assets. So this made me realize that maybe we shouldn't be as tough on price discussions, but perhaps we should force on ambassadors not to associate the fact that they are ambassadors to price discussions. Like, for example, the Data Whale YouTube channel in which this video was published was ongoing for a while, and has, I believe, always had this kind of tone and focus on price and basically speculation. So I'm mixed on this discussion. I would like to see Moritz to stay within the group and figure out a way to do this, because he has a great experience with marketing and communication and building products also. So I think he's a very valuable member of the community. And the only person we've asked to leave the ambassador program actually had kind of scammed people. So I know at the time we asked him to go, he was clean. However, this was really tricky. So here, okay, there is this video on price. Does that justify that we let go of someone who can provide some great contributions to our community? It's food for thoughts. I would say overall, my position would be rather no, but it's open to get swayed one way or the other.
Oh, that's
Oh, go ahead, Robin.
Albert has to leave. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Albert, you directly have to go, or can you just say your opinion? Are you in favor of this?
Yeah, very excellent points raised by Laurent. I think what we should maybe do is to better understand the context that Moritz is discussing the price. And one way how I would suggest to do this is by having a public discussion with him, so that he can actually explain why he talked about the price, to better see what's the background there, and how this could be considered bad signaling, or if it's really something that is technically necessary to explain a technical point. Maybe I'm not aware if this is the case, but it might be, and we should definitely give him the chance to explain. So, and maybe a public discussion like we are having like right now might be a good way.
So, sounds like a good idea from my point too. Yes. Okay, Albert. Thank you so much for your input. Yeah.
Thank you,
then
guys.
if you have to leave, then you go. Alex, you wanted to go next.
I was just going to say, from Ocean Protocol's perspective right now, recusing ourselves from this conversation, and yeah, we can talk about this in a different form. But yeah, for the moment, yeah, just recusal at the moment from this.
I mean, this is a very difficult topic, and it's something that I think if we can talk to him directly and discuss this, maybe that will shed some more light. And I think involving the OPF into these discussions is not necessarily required, because there's a lot of implications here that are not really so easy and not so obvious. And yeah. But yeah, okay. I mean, I think we had our points today.
Also, we have to recognize that now, contrary to the early days, we are not an extension in a way.
Exactly.
Of course, we were never part, but we were getting our funding directly. Now we are getting our funding from the community. So we can also take more flexibility in how the tone that we want to adopt and the kind of message and the do's and don'ts. I'm not saying we should do this. I'm saying we can.
Yeah. I mean that, but from what I have gotten as feedback from some prominent members also of the ambassador program is that they like that we are not associated with, that we are not the Navy. You know, they like that there's a distinction and that there's a separation, and that's something that they find valuable. You know, they would not like to be associated with an ambassador group that actively promotes the prize, because then this also reflects on what they are doing in their own projects, or like in the other things. You know, like somehow this is also one of the problems. You know, like that I see with Moritz and other people in the program. They are like not just Moritz, the ambassador. They're also like this other thing. You know. And that's like something that is actually kind of an issue. So it probably will also be part of our discussions with the OPF in the next week. It's just about these, with the rules of the OceanDAO. I mean, this makes things very clear. You know, like you are associated basically with mainly one project, and that's your OceanDAO identity and what you're working on. And if you complete that's okay. But in a way, you know, like this is just something that everybody carries around, or like many people carry around with. For me, it's like I'm also involved in many things. So like whenever I say something, it's not really clear, you know, like which hat is the person wearing at this moment, you know, and that's something that becomes very complicated, because from a point of view of a community member, it's very difficult, you know, to understand. Now he did say this as Robin said this as the data union guy and not as the ambassador. So yeah, I mean, and basically you would always have to announce which hat you are wearing right now when you talk about something, you know, and that's like still, it can be taken out of context and then used against one of the projects that you're working with, and that's like, yeah, that's rather unfortunate. I mean, but I think that is just a fact that cannot be really changed, you know, that people will always not see this in the correct context necessarily.
Yeah, but it could also come from a redesign of the program, right? So we were thinking perhaps to have different guilds or equivalent, so we could very well have a degenship, for example.
Yeah, so that could also be the case. Yes, we can also redesign it this direction. Okay.
Guys, sorry, I need to leave the call. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being part of this. Hopefully I will be part of the next one, and you know, hopefully we'll overcome all the existing problems. And I totally agree to what you're saying, Robin, that it's not difficult to wear different type of hats, because depending on the scenario you need to adapt, and it's quite difficult to make a very clear delimitation between the different, let's say, positions, hats, however you want to call them. Yeah. But for sure, in the future all this will be improved, and mainly that's the task which we have top priority, to improve all the programs in which we are part. Thank you very much for the call, guys. All the best. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, Razvan.
Okay, I think we wrap it up.
Thanks.
Alex,
One last quick closing question. This can be like a sentence. How is the Navy currently funded?
There's no funding for the Navy. So like Navy is always, the Navy funds itself, you know. The Navy makes advertisement for the token. The Navy holds the token, so the Navy finances itself. So I mean, but yeah, for my research or insights into the Navy, also the structure there has changed a lot over the last half year or something, you know. But like the major creators of the Navy, they have always financed themselves via making this direct marketing of the price, and I think it was very beneficial for them. They didn't need any extra, you know, if you catch my drift. So it was okay.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome. Yeah, we can wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate this, and yeah, looking forward to iterating. And yeah, this is we were really cognizant of time today too. So this was awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Take care.
Thanks,
everyone.
Alex.
Yeah, take care, guys. Be well.
Thanks, Robin. Bye.